do you remember when those tech bros invented a bodega?
Yes,
like a vending machine
they
bodega?
came all the way around to it. I mean, right now they're inventing a bus. They're like an Uber that comes at a set time.
Yeah.
And everyone can get on it.
And welcome back. You're listening to Hysteria, the podcast for people that don't think a homonym is a good basis for an ad campaign, especially when the homonym elicits memories of unpleasant historical events. Okay, so last week, American Eagle, remember them? I used to always get my underwear from there.
Yeah.
Good
I had like
underpants.
2 pairs of jeans.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
were fine. They were very low rise, and my butt crack was out a lot. That's mostly, like, I remember a breeze on my butt crack in the 2000s.
All of our butt cracks were having a breezy time during the early aughts.
No one wants to talk about it.
Well, my butt crack is like, please, never again.
Yeah,
never again.
For sure.
Keep me tightly far away. So last week, American Eagle launched an ad campaign for new jeans with Sydney Sweeney that sent the internet into an uproar, and for good reason. It also like started this outrage cycle that I kind of want to get into after I'm done like introducing this, because it's like very predictable. It's a very predictable outrage cycle. So the ad has an odd vibe to it. It's clear that it was meant to be a nod to the Brooke Shields Calvin Klein ad campaign that was like an iconic jeans campaign from the 80s. But the copy over the ad has caused some people to be like, okay, wait, what? Sydney Sweeney in the ad has a play on words between pants jeans and jeans, as in like genetic material that's meant to be sort of cheeky, but comes across like it just doesn't quite work for a lot of people. Not to mention it's an homage to this Brooke Shields ad. So let's listen to the ad.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
Yeah, some people were pointing out that it seems a little odd for a blonde-haired, blue-eyed gal telling us what great genes are. Some people were pointing out that it's weird how she said offspring instead of offspring.
Yeah.
Like, how many takes did she have?
Yeah.
2 Fs. S's. And what I've seen now is like right-wing media is absolutely like crapping their pants about how like the left is losing their mind about this, which is, I kind of want to like go into that outrage cycle because I was listening to like Ben Shapiro was talking about some random ass like mean lady on the Blaze was like talking about it. They're like, what's her face? Brett Cooper, the 23-year-old like very strange person, was talking about it. They're all talking about this. I think maybe it's because they're glad that they have something to talk about that isn't Epstein, and they're glad to have an opportunity to paint blonde-haired, blue-eyed people as like victims of cancel culture. But like, Akilah, let's start just from the ad itself.
Yeah.
What did you think of the ad itself when you saw it?
Okay, so I think like many people who were on the internet, I saw it without sound first, and I was like, okay, so like Sydney Sweeney's an attractive girl and she's got a gene campaign, whatever.
Yeah.
I then turned on the sound. And I will say, maybe I'm just not stupid enough to fall for it, because there are so many people who are like, what? They're just saying that the genes are good. Or what? They're just saying that she has big titties. And that's why her genes are good. I'm like, they're selling pants to women. So like, I don't think it's about her titties. I think it's about the genes. But I think what is frustrating is that it's obviously intentionally a dog whistle. And I was fighting for my life in my mentions with people who are like willfully ignorant, who are like, you really think that 80 people at a marketing agency and Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle and all of these people went through this copy and they just knew that it was a bad thing? And I'm like, okay, what you don't understand is that is like an indictment of those people. Like, if all of them are too stupid or have such a small worldview that it didn't even occur to them that in a time where people who are darker than a paper bag are being disappeared off the streets, taken from their families, when racial profiling and discrimination is at an all-time high, when we're blaming airline crashes on Black people just existing, to have a girl who is literally just famous for looking a certain way say, my genes are blue, my eyes are pretty, and then cut to, she has good genes, as if the implication isn't everyone else's isn't very good. I'm like, okay, I just think that there is an intentionality here. I don't think that you can just sort of be like, I never thought about it. These are people who went to school. Like,
yeah,
they wanted the uproar because they wanted people to buy their shitty polyester jeans.
Can I just say, though, like, this is an ad. What is the purpose of an ad? The purpose of an ad is to get people to look at the ad and to talk about the product that is being advertised. Now, sometimes, like, I think there's, like, different schools of thought about, like, whether all attention is good or whether only some of the bad attention is also good attention. Like, but I think that this ad effectively got people's attention. I try not to attribute malevolence to that which can be explained away by ignorance or whatever, you know that saying. Like
it's not malice.
Yes, right. I don't think it was necessarily malicious. I think it was just like soulless pursuit of attention. It was clout demoning once again. And like they knew that this would get attention. Sydney Sweeney is a hot commodity. What I have found really interesting about this conversation is like the way that like the right-wing media has kind of tried to portray it. It feels like, listening to them talk about it, feels like being in an argument with like a terrible partner who like constantly gaslights you. You know, like if you like, so like one thing that I've heard is like the left hates hot women. The left doesn't want to see like blonde hot women. It's like, absolutely I want to see blonde
I'm like,
hot
also
women.
look at Hollywood. Most of these people are progressive and most of them are blonde and hot.
Like, what are you talking?
I have no, and also like that argument fell apart in the other ads she did. This is a campaign that has several ads. That one's the most egregious, where she's literally talking about her eye color and her hair color.
Right. At the other ad, she just looks like the guest girl. Like the guest girls from like
and no
Teen
one
magazines.
is mad at any of those. Like she can absolutely do donuts in a vintage car. I love it. Yeah. She's a hot woman. She should be seen.
Congratulations on her amazing rack. She's got an amazing
And I objectively would say that I'm a fan of, Euphoria. I watched both seasons. I look forward to the one where they're all 40 when it finally comes out. Like, it's going to be great. My feeling, though, is sort of like it kind of goes back to that kayfabe conversation. It's like, does it matter what their intent was if that's the outcome? But to your point, something that a conversation I've been having with people lately is sort of like the way the manosphere can thrive is by basically branding everything that is divisive in any way as like their personal brand. And so in the same way that I don't think anyone thinks Trump's base is as racist as Donald Trump is hoping they are, I think these marketers hope beyond hope that people are misogynistic and racist and whatever, and will have that to drive them to go buy their, lackluster jeans. I think that is really what it is. And so I agree. I think that they wanted to get the attention. And I also think that they know that they're not going to sell jeans in California and New York. Mm-hmm. They need to sell them to dairy farmers who are fine. I'm unhappy with the changing color of the country. And if this pisses off a liberal, then even better. And I think we have to just get better at responding to those things, because I posted on Twitter a mock-up ad that got me in a lot of hot water, because Beyonce also has a denim contract with Levi's. She has a song with Post Malone called Levi's Jeans. And so I was like, well, Levi's are better jeans, I think, across the board. We all know they use real denim. So I said, what if I put Beyonce has better jeans? And people are like, no, because her jeans are not better than a white woman's. And every racist came out of the woodwork. And I'm like, it's interesting. Yeah. So if it was just an innocent conversation about the quality of the jeans, just a little pun, why do all the racists hear the dog whistle?
Yeah. Well, and then pretend that we're crazy for being like, hey, this might not have been on purpose, but it kind of hits a weird. Yeah. Something that I've also found is anytime they get called out for something that they're definitely doing, if it's something like an ad campaign and you're like, hey, you guys have been really into eugenics lately, and the fact that you're really into this ad kind of dovetails with that to me, and they're like, it is ridiculous. The left is freaking out about this ad. They're so over the top. All they want is fat ladies. All they want is ugly people in ads. They just want it to be a big Dove campaign, blah, 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 blah. Which, by the way, the Dove campaign got attention because when it came out, it was contrary to what was a typical ad. It broke through the noise, just as this ad broke through the noise. And after a bunch of people follow this ad and feature hot blonde women because this one got so much attention, eventually there will be another one featuring unconventionally attractive people or people who are not conventionally attractive at all. And that will break through the noise because it's fucking advertising.
Right.
That's how it works. It's not about leftists want this. Right-wing people want this. It's all they want is to get attention. They got attention, right? Mm-hmm. But I really hate that the right wing does this thing. they accuse you of freaking out and ridicule you for pointing something out, and then they do the thing so that we feel shy about like standing up and speaking out for it when the thing actually gets worse. You know, like
no, totally.
When like Roe v. Wade was overturned, it was like, oh, they're not gonna blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It's going back to the left is freaking out. Well, guess what? All the things that we were freaking out about started happening. Exactly. And then we were like, we had too many people had been too shamed and too ridiculed to say anything. And so they just kind of like let it lie. It's a cousin of confessing by accusing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that fully. And I think my last thought on it, honestly, is like the way that they get away with this is that they are graded on a curve. They are allowed to feign obliviousness. They're not asked to answer for anything really. They just are like, oh, I was born yesterday. What do you mean the historical context of G? You read a book, so that's why you think that. And I'm like, right. We don't have that benefit. And I think that like maybe the left has to start playing just as dumb. Maybe like I honestly think that like the problem is that like the standard for the right is in hell. They can be as dumb, because also it's like these are completely sexless people. I hate to come back to it, but I'm like, you all are acting like you love to see this, and yet the moment there's a hot woman in your town, you're running her out of town.
Right. If she were actually having sex in the ad, you would be very upset. Like not pornography, but if it was like some sort of simulated sex act, you would be really pissed off. But sexy's okay and sex is not.
Exactly. And so I'm like, you all aren't the arbiter of anything. Like, you all like get your jollies to the shoes that the M&Ms are wearing. Like, I don't think that you guys actually know what's sexy either. I think that like we could just have a conversation about how like maybe it could have been phrased differently. And the thing is, she could have referenced her genetics, but not just the blue eyes. Like, that's the weirdest part, because it's like blue eyes can be great. Every eye color can be great. I don't think that, call me the real racist, but I think all eye colors can be beautiful.
I think you should make merch for your show that says the real racist.
They're calling me that. They're saying she's the real racist because she realized that maybe other eye colors, also that people beyond white people can be blonde. They don't like that conversation. I'm like, well, the Aboriginals have something to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what? That is a really good point. And I feel like a lot of the people that are like, yay, genes, we like genes now. It's like, okay, really? How many pairs of chromosomes do people have? Like, tell me one scientific fact about genes. Tell me about it.
Literally, like, the main fight when I posted the Beyonce ad was literally them being like, well, she has really light skin. I'm like, well, if we're talking about genetics, like, black people can be lots of colors. Have you ever thought about it?
You're so right about the bar just being so low. Hysteria is brought to you by Lola Blankets. What I love to do is lie down and be underneath a blanket. That is my favorite thing. Lie down, be underneath a blanket, put on a TV show that I've already watched a million times. 30 Rock is on the list. There's a couple others on the list of rewatchables. Detroiters. Under a blanket watching Detroiters, maybe eating some cheese. Really, Liz Lemon has permeated every aspect of my life. Well, that is why I love Lola blankets. Lola is the world's #1 blanket, crafted with ultra-soft, luxury vegan faux fur and a signature 4-way stretch that sets it apart. It's machine washable, double hem for durability, and stays flawless. No pilling, no shedding, even after repeated washes. One Lola instantly elevates your space. It's so soft, beautifully designed, and makes your home feel cozy and curated. I first started seeing Lola ads on Instagram, and now I feel like I see it everywhere. Lola is my go-to gift. It's personal, beautiful, and something people actually use every day. Lola has over 10,000 5-star reviews, and once you feel it, you'll know why. There's a reason it's called the world's #1 blanket. This thing is next level. Lola Blanket has also collabed with a number of amazing designers, but you've got to move fast. These drops always sell out. It comes in a range of sizes. I have the large. It's perfect for cozying up solo or with someone else. XL is massive. They call it the biggest blanket on the internet. Cover your entire house with it. I don't know. Try it and tell me how much of your house you can cover. Send me pictures. That'd be fun. Lola also makes weighted blankets for calming therapeutic vibes. I love the feeling of a weighted blanket. I gotta say, nothing calms me down more than that besides being asleep. Don't miss the matching pillows. They look amazing and you save when bundling. For a limited time, our listeners are getting a huge 35% off their entire order at lolablankets.com by using code Hysteria at checkout. Just head to lolablankets.com and use code Hysteria for 35% off. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola Blankets. Hysteria is brought to you by Amnesty International USA. Look, here's the thing. If you're fired up and ready to fight back against cruel anti-human rights policies like Trump's mass deportation campaign, which violates due process, separates families, and puts people in danger, Amnesty International is right there with you.
For over 6 decades, Amnesty International has been on the front lines of protecting human rights from bullies and bad guys. Amnesty International doesn't take a dime from governments for their campaigning and research. That means they're independent and they speak truth to power, no matter who's in charge. So if you believe in truth, accountability, and not letting Trump-style cruelty slide, head to amnestyusa.org/help. Your donation is tax deductible, and right now it'll be triple matched. That's amnestyusa.org/help.
I saw something on TikTok this week about Republican dumb eyes, and now I can't stop seeing it. And it is like they use the example of former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, who always had this like dumb-eyed look.
Yeah.
Even in his like official, like it's like you said, the mid. It's like I don't know if I can even do it. It's like.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Like you're
It's
never
like,
focusing on anything
I'm
really.
not
You're just
looking
kind of
at anything.
staring into the nothing.
I'm thinking about nothing. Nothing has
Yeah.
ever happened prior to this moment. Nothing that I do is any reflection of what came before me.
Smoothest brain.
There's
the biggest, smoothest brain.
I asked them to go into the rose garden and remove all the context. Just pave over all the context.
Right. I don't want to know. I don't want to know, and I don't want to learn.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so here's part of the reason why we are like the eugenics thing is coming up, because it didn't come up sans context. Right now, there is a real kind of resurgence in the tech space of stuff that is actually like eugenics but invented by technology. Do you remember when those tech bros invented a bodega?
Yes,
like a vending machine
they
bodega?
came all the way around to it. I mean, right now they're inventing a bus. They're like an Uber that comes at a set time. Yeah. And everyone can get on it.
What if there was like a giant Uber that a lot of people could ride? Or like, what if there was and people like, they're almost inventing trains, but like
Right.
it's always slightly worse than that which came before. You know, like the theory of
like the Tesla diner where they have a robot serving popcorn when they could have just made a popcorn machine that gives you the popcorn. That's an extra piece. We don't need a fake person. Either get a person or make a better machine.
the line to charge the cars is like very long. The food looks like IHOP food.
It looks really rough. I saw that there's something called like epic bacon or something, and people were like, this is what it looks like, and it's just like the remnants of bacon. Like someone ate it, but then left like the fat part and put it in the thing.
I feel like Elon Musk extracted his personality from like Reddit circa 2011.
100%.
And like did not advance.
He has a mustache tattoo on his finger. I bet you. No one's looked at it, but I bet you he's going to whip it out and it's just going to be there.
He's got snack wave pajamas. They've got like...
Yes, exactly. It's all bacon. It's all bacon
pizza,
all the way down.
Bacon, tacos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do miss snack wave though. That was like a fun fashion moment.
It's a good era. I had a lot of those clothes.
I think remember like black milk leggings?
Yes.
They had like, bring those back. Bring those back. Don't
so many colors. So many options.
So many options. I had like a galaxy one. Okay, so technology, as we've established, takes things that already existed because the people who are inventing this stuff insist on existing in a context-free world, reinvent it, but worse, and think they've done something. Now, the thing that they've done. This time is eugenics. This week we read a Washington Post feature on ORCID, an embryo genetic screening technology that has been used by the tech elite, including at least one of Elon Musk's children. The public-facing selling point of the company is screening for genetic illnesses, which they're not the first to do. But there are reports the company also privately provides services that screen embryos for other traits like intelligence. ORCID is the first company to claim to sequence an entire genome of 3 billion base pairs. Again, this is a company claim. Technology companies claim shit all the time.
Yeah.
Get it printed in...
Ask Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah. That's kind of like the whole MO of like the tech industry is claiming something and trusting that the media will print it like they are
Verbatim,
doing your press
totally.
releases. Yeah, they have that claim. Grain of salt. They use custom algorithms to create polygenic risk scores, which are designed to measure a future child's genetic propensity for developing ailments later in life, like disabilities or schizophrenia. The American College of Medical Genetics and Genomics says the benefits of these embryo screenings are unproven and warns that such tests should not be offered by clinicians. It's probably no surprise that Orchid is one of several genetic and fertility startups that Peter Thiel is invested in, because of course he has. He does everything creepy. Nothing that he does is not creepy, and this is fucking creepy. Akilah, what's your first response to the awareness of the company Orchid that is screening for genetic issues?
I just think that, like, it's always hard to have any faith that these companies will do the right thing in the year 2025. Because I think that, like, you're right. There are plenty of services to screen for genetic anomalies and to, you know, like, even just be made aware of it. Not to, like, decide whether or not to have the kid, but, like, you know, to just be aware of all of the possibilities. And I think that, like, that kind of science is actually, like, revolutionary and very freeing and gives us a fuller picture of what is happening. But I think that, like, we get to a place then where, you know, it sort of gamifies life itself. It feels like we're doing a Jurassic Park, and I'm like, I don't know if we should. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. Like, some of these things, we also don't understand the nature of a lot of the things they're screening for yet. Like, we're in an era where they're devaluing science that, like, might actually benefit the masses, right? But we're, you know, solving for different issues that they believe are going to be harmful in the future. It's just like, we're not doing the right research. The money's going in the wrong direction. And I think a lot of times you're solving a problem that doesn't exist. Like,
I also don't believe that Orchid can do what it says it can do. And I think that a lot of the fertility industry and the genetic screening industry is based on sales pitches that are not really checked or backed up by science. Like, I think a good example of that is like egg freezing. Egg freezing has a very low success rate, and you have to, like, harvest a shitload of eggs to have a good chance of being able to carry a baby to term after eggs have been unfrozen. But it's still,
and it's
like,
so
marketed,
expensive.
It is so expensive.
So
it is so
wild.
expensive, and it's marketed to women, like, and it, like, clinicians are doing it irresponsibly to women past the age when they should be doing it. Like, I feel like there's like an age cutoff where after that age, it's just pretty much a waste of money. And, like, I feel like that happens in a lot of places. Like, I know somebody who just, like, went to a clinic for, like, a fertility screening, and it was an IVF clinic, and they told her, of course, you should do IVF. I don't know a single person who went to get their fertility screened at an IVF clinic and wasn't told that the solution to their infertility was IVF.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. Right. Like, it's interesting that they have a solution and it costs $10,000 a pop. Like,
Yes.
I mean, and we all have those horror stories. I have a friend who had her eggs frozen at a facility and then got a text that they were moving the facility. They were like, we're moving everything, so it's not gonna be here anymore. And she's like, okay, so, like, what's the procedure for that? Like, am I good? No response. And so there was just, like, a week where she didn't know where they were. I'm like, right. I think that's really bad. If I spent that kind of money and then suddenly my genetic materials were just missing, that would be an issue for me. But again, they're not held to a scientific standard in the same way that those boys with the weird hair are not held to a journalistic standard. We're just giving money to the wrong places.
We're giving money to the wrong places, and the promises that are being made and the things that are being pursued are, like, not good. They're things we don't fully understand. Like, you can screen a kid for intelligence? What? How?
Yeah.
How?
We
What kind
haven't
of
figured out how to
intelligence?
do that accurately for, like, adults who are, like,
Ever.
can speak.
Yeah. Yes,
So-
exactly. I mean, and also America's history with eugenics, like, it was invented here.
Yes.
The founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, was a proponent of eugenics. That is something that if you talk to anybody who works at Planned Parenthood in advocacy or whatever, like, that is something that is reckoned with all the time, where it's like there was a belief that poor people or feeble-minded people, quote unquote, because that phrase was used, like, a lot, especially at the beginning of the 19th century or the 20th century. The beginning of the 20th century, it was, like, all the rage to think that you could, like, breed a country of super people. And our ideas of eugenics were exported to Germany, and Germany was like, oh, these are good ideas. We've got some ideas to make it real efficient. Like that, like we came up with the origins of what ended up being like a Nazi ethnic cleansing operation. And look at us now. Okay, there's also like a Supreme Court case that is still in effect called Buck v. Bell that makes it's like legal for the state to decide to sterilize people under certain conditions, like against their will. Like, we have a decades, 100+ year long history of sterilizing prisoners against their will. In California, we've done it. We've done it everywhere. People that are like teen moms, people who are mentally ill, like all in the name of promoting like a super race or like promoting like optimal babies. Mm-hmm. And this is just the same thing.
Right.
But worse and more expensive.
Worse, more expensive, no guaranteed track rate, and no like benefit to society. Like, again, this is all just like weird selfish stuff with no regard for the person that is going to become, right? Like, maybe this would have been a happier person if you just like let them have brown eyes.
Yeah.
But maybe
also,
not in
like,
the Sydney Sweeney universe.
Yeah. No, not in Sydney
You gotta
Sweeney's
have the blue ones because those are the good genes.
Those are the good ones. Those are the good ones. One of my kids has green eyes.
Cool.
Like,
Those are good too. Those are good too.
Yeah. They're like green with like gold on the inside. They're very beautiful, but I think that she's like more sensitive to sunlight. I think if you have light color eyes, you're like more
it's true.
sensitive.
They say that like,
sunlight.
I mean, if a blue-eyed person wants to weigh in, I have heard that like if like they go out and it's snowy out and the sun hits the snow, they're like blinded for a second. Not me.
Yeah.
I can see.
Me neither. Take that, Sydney.
Exactly. I'm gonna put a bunch of snow outside of her house.
Yeah,
Anyway.
take that, Sydney. Yeah, you're the real villain here, Sydney Sweeney.
Just cash your check, girl. You need it.
I also think that this is like, when I was having, pregnant with my 2 kids, they do screen for like genetic issues like trisomy 13, trisomy 21. So like Down syndrome, and like there are some unsurvivable like genetic issues that they can pick up on. And there's like a lot of ethical debate around that, even because in places like Iceland and Denmark, where they screen for that normally and everybody gets prenatal care, almost no babies with Down syndrome are born. And like most people who find out that they're going to like have a baby with Down syndrome like choose to terminate the pregnancy, just because there's so many variables with like how independent this person will ever be, and like a lot of parents choose. But there's like ethical concerns around that, like, and that is like the range of possibilities of the level of a person's disability in that circumstance is huge. And so like anyway, so it's like, they give you genetic screenings when you're pregnant. I got like this massive genetic panel when I was pregnant with my little one that like told me all of the like genetic disorders that I possibly could pass on, and like what the likelihood was of like someone else have. It's crazy what they can already screen for using like mother blood, like maternal blood. And this just seems like a really weird thing to say. Also, like, in what world do we not benefit from having people that are like neurodivergent, hyper-focused people?
Right. I mean, there's that. There's also just like, to me, I go to the place of like, it's a slippery slope. Because it's like, okay, well, let's say we completely eradicate all of these disabilities from the earth, which is not a good thing. It's just a choice that could be made, allegedly, according to this company. So then what? We're going to just start, like, we're going to get bored, and how do they keep making money? They're going to be like, well, if you have macular degeneration, you might, lose your sight when you're 80. You don't want your kid to lose their sight when they're 80. It's like, maybe they can lose their sight when they're 80. Maybe they could just, let's just see how it happens. Like, I think that, like, the point for them is to make money. And maybe this is like, and I think that it's all based on fear, right? Which is like fair. People want to do what they think is right. And with more information come more variables. But they're going to have to make money forever. So if they can do what they say, it is going to be a slippery slope. Well, you don't want a kid that gets dark in the sun. Well, you don't want a kid with red hair. Well, you don't want a kid with freckles. Well, you don't, like, there's a million things they can start solving for. But what are they solving? Their own, like, lack of flush cash, I feel.
And all of this goes out the window. All the genetic stuff goes out the window if the kid gets a really bad head injury when they're young.
Right.
Exactly. Oh, you screen this kid for like whatever, and now you're going to let him play football. Oh, you're going to let him play soccer. You're going to let him play hockey. Okay.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah. They didn't screen for the stop sign usage in your neighborhood. Darn.
Yeah.
So, like,
exactly.
Come on.
It's like it is people preying on a fundamentally uncontrollable aspect of like human existence.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how it goes. Really quick, just wanted to hit on this before we take a quick break. The CDC reported that the U.S. fertility rate means the number of babies per woman. Fertility rate doesn't mean like how fertile women are.
Right.
I hate that people are like, why is
the
it
phrasing? Wouldn't it be birth rate?
Yeah, I think it's just fertility rate is like how many children the average woman of reproductive age has. But people always quibble with like the verbiage, and it's like a demographic term. So just putting that out there. But the fertility rate hit a new low in 2024 with fewer than 1.6 children born per woman. 2.1 children per woman is the amount that each generation needs to replace itself. But that has been it's been close to 2 decades since the U.S. has had that rate. The rate is on par with most Western European countries. What do you think about this, Akilah? Does this make sense to you?
100%. I believe that, life is too expensive, opportunity is too scarce, housing is too dire, the climate is changing too rapidly. We're in a time that feels really impossible to support yourself, much less a full family. And I think that these are all based on eras where like they could do that on one income even. And so I'm not surprised. You have people like Elon Musk, who is projected to become a trillionaire, who is like spreading his disgusting seed all over the earth. The problem is he needs to make more of himself. Like there's just not going to be enough kids to replace a generation of people. And even with all of the eugenicist shit, like there's just not going to be enough to support an aging demographic. Like we're just going to have a children of men scenario where everybody's old, nobody's young. I think that the situation here has to just get better. Like, the birth rate isn't declining in places that have less inequality. So we maybe actually have to address that. But with the administration we currently have, I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I'm just going to say this like really, really quick. I think that there's no getting around the biological cost of having children on the body and lives of women. There's just no getting around it. And there are some people that are like, I could be swayed to have children if I could afford a house big enough for me and my children to be comfortable. That there are definitely people like that. Or I would have more kids if childcare were affordable.
Yeah.
I would have more kids if I had longer paid leave. There are plenty of people like that. But there is a part of the population that is sticky. That is like, I straight up don't want to do that to myself.
Yeah.
And that is like valid. That is valid. And there's no convincing those people. There is no, and I feel like even if we did all of these like humane things that we should be doing, like making housing more affordable to families, making school, like, funding schools, like making sure that our kids are safe. Like those things are kind of gimmies. But I don't think that even if we do all those things, we're going to get the birth rate up to where people want the birth rate to be, because it sucks. Like for a woman, it's like kind of a raw deal. And I say this, like I've got 2 kids. It just sucks and is really hard. And I think people are telling the truth about it more than ever. And so people that are on the fence have more access to information, and they're making educated decisions that being a mom is not for them, which is completely valid. Hysteria is brought to you by Honeylove. Alyssa, guess what I'm doing in a couple weeks? I'm not going to be specific about what day. I'm going to the Magic Castle. Yeah, it's a thing. Whoa. It's a thing in LA. I guess you have to be invited. I don't know the specifics. I have not.
That is, even I know what that is.
Yeah, I mean, it got made fun of on Arrested Development, but I still want to go, and I'm really excited that I'm going to get to go, but they have like a dress code, right? And this is going to be the first time in a really long time. Yeah, this is going to be the first time in a long time that I've like gotten dressed up. So
what are you going to wear?
Honeylove. And then a dress on top of it. But like, I'm going to wear Honeylove underneath because like, I just feel better, more confident, and like everything is where it needs to be when I wear Honeylove. Also, it's comfortable. So, win-win-win. It's like getting a flattering hug that you can
You're going to be put together.
I'm going to be put together. Summer is here, and you know what that means. It's time for breezy dresses, bold colors, the Magic Castle, and all the effortlessly cool looks you've been waiting to wear. Whether you're heading to rooftop brunches, garden parties, or just soaking up the sun in your favorite sundress, let's talk about what's underneath, because the right shapewear can make all the difference.
Today's episode is brought to you by Honeylove, the brand redefining modern shapewear with real comfort and serious support. And their newest innovation, Mesh Sculpt, is the the ultimate summer shapewear. Usually, lightweight shapewear doesn't offer much hold, and strong shapewear is very heavy. But Mesh Sculpt changes all that. It's breathable and lightweight without sacrificing its power. It keeps you cool while still delivering the sculpted silhouette you want. Honeylove's targeted compression smooths and shapes exactly where you want it to and eases up where you don't. It works with your body, not against it. Plus, thanks to flexible boning on the sides, it stays in place. No rolling, no shifting, no awkward adjusting mid-conversation. The rolling is always such a problem with me. Not with Honeylove, of course.
Oh,
just
yeah. I hate
other brands.
Any rolling. I'm just like, get the
you
fuck
get the
off
roll.
my body.
You feel it. You've had it
it.
on for an hour, and it starts rolling down, and you get that roll line, which is embarrassing. With lingerie-inspired details, Honeylove pieces are meant to be seen. So whether you're dressing up for a night or just feeling yourself in your go-to sundress, Honeylove has your back, your curves, and your comfort covered all season long.
And here's the best part. For a limited time, you can save 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link, honeylove.com/hysteria. Support the show and enjoy your summer by checking them out at honeylove.com/hysteria. Treat yourself to the most comfortable shapewear on earth and save 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/hysteria. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off, honeylove.com/hysteria. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Experience the new standard in shapewear with Honeylove.
Hysteria is brought to you by Ritual. Erin, do you always get your vegetables?
Yes, because I'm growing them now.
Fuck, that's so cool.
I know. I mean, honestly, you want me to give you some kale? I got a bushel of every single day I go outside. I'm like, how?
Do you have a hat with a tomato on it?
No, but I should. I should have a hat with a tomato on. But during the winter, it's a little bit tougher because
yeah, up here for sure.
The greens aren't greening as much, if you will.
Well, Erin, Ritual's Essential for Women 18 and Over multivitamin isn't exactly a salad in a pill, but it is formulated to help you fill key nutrient gaps that you might not be getting enough from your diet.
Ooh. You know what I like about Ritual?
Tell me.
Not only is it just a simple way to take care of a bunch of things that I need all at once. I don't like having to, my husband takes a bunch of different pills. And he has the big, and he puts them all in his little case every week. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Oh, really?
I'm a lazy person. I just want to take one.
You're a lazy pill popper.
I'm a lazy pill popper. Yeah. That's probably why I've never had a pill problem, because I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to open another thing. What I love about Ritual is that it takes care of so many of my needs in just 2 pills a day, and it tastes minty. It's just one bottle to be sitting on my shelves. I don't need to have any more clutter. It also is effective. Ritual conducted a university-led clinical trial for their Essential Women 18 and Over multivitamin to assess its efficacy, and the results were pretty encouraging. It increased vitamin D levels by 43% and omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in just 12 weeks.
This is true, Erin, because I actually have had 4 years a vitamin D deficiency. And when my levels were tested, my vitamin D was up, and I have been taking Ritual.
Amazing. Well, there you go.
Who knew?
Anecdata from Alyssa Mastromonaco.
That's me.
Ritual's essential third-party tested for heavy metals and Clean Label Project certified, so you can trust what you're putting in your body. They are vegan, non-GMO, project verified, gluten and major allergen-free, and made traceable.
Instead of striving for perfect health, aim for supporting foundational health. Get 25% off your first month only at ritual.com/hysteria. Start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 and Over to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/hysteria for 25% off.
Before we get to Sandy Petty, some announcements for the class. As a listener of this Crooked Media podcast, we wanted you to be the first to know that Crooked just announced its first ever Crooked Con in Washington, D.C. Crooked Con is a first annual or once-in-a-lifetime chance to join America's smartest organizers and least annoying politicians to strategize, debate, and commiserate about where we go from here. Hopefully up. There can't be much more down. Yikes. On Friday, November 7th, Crooked will be joined by some of the most influential names in politics for a full day of conversations, workshops, and live pods as we all figure out how to build the big pro-democracy movement we need. We need to defeat rising authoritarianism before, or maybe after, it's too late. If you like this podcast, you're definitely going to love Crooked Con, and while we can't say officially, I'd say there's a strong chance that we'll be there. Wink, wink. So get those tickets while you can. Head to crookedcon.com for tickets, lineup announcements, and more. That's crookedcon.com. And we have a discount code that you can use to buy your November 7th ticket early. It's Freedom and Content. One word, all caps. Freedom and Content. Discount tickets are limited, so act fast. Okay, now let's get to Sani Petty. Akilah, are you feeling sane or petty this week? Or some combination of both?
You know, I think I'm feeling kind of petty. I think that this Epstein stuff is just going on too long. And so, you know, if I have the floor, I think it's time to shit or get off the pot. Like, I'm excited for South Park to keep, you know, rubbing Donald Trump's face in it. I think that things are preparing to get really bad this fall with all of the changes that have been made in the country, with the big, beautiful bill, which is a horrible bill. And so I kind of just feel like nothing's hitting hard enough. It's the end of summer. We don't have a song of summer. We don't have, like, the culture is stagnant. We're all just waiting for these files that won't come. I'm looking for the hackers. Hack them. You don't have to hack people who are on an app trying to find love or trying to, like, avoid death. You can hack the government. Get rid of our student loans. Do something interesting. I just feel like so I'm feeling petty because I'm upset. I have proposals and I just wish that people would take them seriously. I think that we need to start making some moves. We're really just kind of standing in water right now.
Okay, fair. I have a sanity corner this week, and it actually like works with the Epstein stuff that you're talking about. Also, I feel like there are people at the FBI and possibly people in Doge who have seen the contents of the Epstein file.
Elon allegedly, he said.
Yes. Okay. Now your moral responsibility is to release it to the public. That's what needs to happen next. Get that out. Get that shit out there. Give it to a journalist who can go through, remove all the CSAM references or whatever, and then get it out. So yes, I'm totally with you. But I don't think it's going away, and I think that all of these people, these elected officials who went home to their deep red districts, are not having a good time unless they Ted Cruz fucked off to Greece or something.
Yeah, there must be a disaster imminent in Texas if he's on vacation.
Oh, no, stay where you are. We talked about this last week. Ted Cruz, please remain in Texas.
Right. If you see him at the airport, redirect him to the parking lot.
Yes. He should be on the no-fly list.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so mine is a sanity corner. I am a huge South Park fan, and I've been for a very long time. I really love the show. I really love what they're doing this season. The season premiere featured Donald Trump with a flappy head and the same voice as Saddam Hussein that Matt Stone used to do at the beginning of the show. It's very obviously leading us down the path where it's we have a dictator in charge of our country, and that's the point that it's making. It's great. I'm loving the ride though. I love that him and Satan are lovers, and Satan is kind of
not into it.
he's just sad. He's put upon. There's a lot that he's really given it his all, and now Trump is just reminding him of his ex. I can handle the micro penis stuff. It's fine. It's just really funny. It feels like a return to vintage South Park. They're in such double finger don't give a fuck mode.
Yes.
A 1.25 or $1.5 billion deal with Paramount.
Right before they can't back out.
Right before they can't back out. I feel like Donald Trump is mad about it. Next week seems to feature a Charlie Kirk type figure. And Charlie Kirk has already said that he's really excited for it. I just got to say, if you see yourself in a South Park preview, you probably shouldn't be excited about it. Something really bad is going to be done to that character.
And I mean, he made his whole Twitter or X profile, the picture of Cartman and all of them, we're all just going to screen grab that for when you're just getting your cheeks clapped on this show, right? That's going to just be the reaction. Remember when you were so excited for this? Oh, you wanted this. This is good.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. I can't wait. I think it's going to be great. I feel like Trey Parker and Matt Stone are smarter than any of the people that are trying to criticize it from the right now. And I just love it. I love where it's going. I love that it's gross and sophomoric and at the same time brilliant and mean, and it's great. And it's been my sanity corner. It's my comfort show. I will watch even the ones that I disagree with where I'm well, this is kind of ridiculing a political stance that I have, but I'll allow it because they do such a good job making it funny. The Man Bear Pig episode.
Totally.
Fun of Al Gore. And then later they made an episode where like Man Bear Pig was real and like was terrorizing South Park. Anyway, I love South Park. I'm really excited for the new season. I'm really glad that they got their giant deal and they're doing as much as possible to not ever have to make episodes again by being like as completely out of pocket as possible. And I super love it. All right. Well, that is all the time we have for this week's episode of Hysteria. Akilah Hughes, thank you so much for joining me. You are always such a delight. Love your laugh. Love your whole thing. Love your podcast. Listeners, if you want to check out Akilah's podcast, How Is This Better? It's available wherever you get podcasts. And new episodes come out on Fridays.
Fridays, yes.
It's a great day. It's a great day to drill down on something that is gotten worse.
Yes.
Listeners, we love you so much. If you want to get in touch, hysteria@crooked.com. Please don't send love notes because multiple people read that email address. And there will be more hysteria for you next week.